Hello, everybody. Chris Wood here. If anybody has seen any of my previous videos or any of my Facebook, have checked it out, you can tell my identity theft and changes to me that I've been talking about, which I've been going through for 3.5 years, is done. Mostly noticeable on the sides because my skull was split, and I have been seriously right brain injured. But I am on here. I am an attempted murder, identity theft, revenge retaliation victim. And because of me being recently charged for going to the hospital for an emergency, my skull being swelled up, and then being surrounded by a bunch of nurses and Paladin security who thought that my medical information was their business, and then getting up and walking out, not being helped, me leaving the hospital, and then conveniently 2 minutes later, walking up the street, I was arrested and charged for the second time through the hospital. And that's done to cover up the crimes that they are guilty of. I've been trying to get arrested and charging on them for 3.5 years, for 3 years, for crimes they are guilty of, and covering up with criminal negligence and intent. Serious felony crimes, and they need to be arrested and charged. And I was talking about this, and this is their way to get out of it. This is their way to reflect it back onto me. Treatment refusals, discriminations, cover ups, lies, falsely charged twice. Once was in an attempt to give me a criminal record, also in an attempt to get away with what they've been getting away with, and also to keep me from medical help for 10.5 months. While this was being happening to me, my skull split, being seriously brain injured, lung and kidney damages after being kicked from the hospital, going to the hospital for that, and being kicked from the hospital through the CEO himself to prevent me help. Dale Hartwick, Blair Hardy, Billy Waldridge, Tony Hearns, Tyler Lake, Ray, Jason, Gimpy, Two-Step, and Allstein, Robert Barry, and another Robert. He wears a camo hat and a camo jacket, sometimes a gray winter coat. Bert Hustler, Maggie Falls, OPP human traffickers, guilty of doing this to me with the intent to frame, guilty of having my mother stalked and murdered, guilty of having my dogs killed. Spencer Mills 14716, Staff Sergeants, years 2019 2021. Ex Chief or Commander, year 2019, had me shot before leaving. Shannon Cork, Robert Kane, Robert Lucas, Stacy, a mental health worker, was Napanee Daily Tea Company, now Kingston, and Shelley Hafner or Huffner. Half of the police involved have now conveniently transferred to avoid arrest, charging in hopes of deniability, and also in hopes of getting away with lawsuits, using badges, positions, credentials. This is why they lie, buy time, refuse arrest, and then conveniently leave when the damage is done. When a person wants arrest and starts demanding it even more, then they turn around and do it to their victim even more to fuck them over. Everything's been done to try to discredit me. Everything's been done for obstructions. Everything's been done to prevent me help, criminally and medically. While they are getting away with this, I'm the end of my bloodline. Billy Waldridge, Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, Vin Allstein, and any of the rest of the pieces of shit, they are all drug-fed, money-paid co-offenders with OPP, and conveniently are untouchable. I am sitting here doing this right now, and I'm getting air blowing through the back of my head. So no matter how much I can show and prove what is being done to me or what has been done to me, it's still called a hallucinating lie. Even the justice of the peace is involved with the organized human trafficking, sex slavery trafficking, poor, homeless, elderly, disabled, even natives. Beware. financial thefts and frauds, identity thefts and frauds, lies, time buying cover ups, false arrest, arrest refusals, being surrounded, hands on guns, kidnapping 24 hours after asking for help. With what has taken place with me in 2021, May 27th, 2021. So, this is how they traffic, this is how they frame, and this is how they murder. I am the end of my bloodline. Luckily, nothing I can do about this. All it would take is a MRI or something done by a hospital or doctors that weren't criminally and negligently or under the threat of OPP. I even went to my dentist appointment yesterday, and as soon as I walked out onto John Street here in Napanee, an OPP SUV comes speeding around the corner, and it proceeded to go around the corner and by the town hall here in Napanee and went to the corner in front of True North Cannabis on the corner and proceeded to wait there and stare me down and then follow me to my dentist appointment. I cannot even walk out my damn door and I'm getting fucking followed. I'm getting intimidation stares and threats through the police. They're bringing in rookies and using the higher ups that are involved in this to give orders to aid them in their crimes because they cannot question the orders that are given to them, regardless of what they're for. This is why OPP is so successful with their getting out of crimes too, using inmates for drop charges, freedom, drugs, money, while they are aiding in having families and bloodlines murdered for revenge through the police. The OPP, Napanee, you think you know. This is also about financial thefts and frauds too, identity thefts and frauds, bank frauds, forgeries. Billy Wooldridge, Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, Van Alstyne, Hartwick, and the OPP Untouchables. So you did this, but I am not taking a fall for any of you pieces of shit, regardless whether you got my blood and piss. You falsely arrested me to try to, in an attempt to criminalize me, to get my pictures, signatures, and prints and everything else you needed for this identity theft, which is happening to me. While you're sitting back buying time while fucking me over even more, trying to criminalize me to get out of this through the hospital, the police, Billy Wooldridge, you're harboring inmate pieces of shit. Boyfriend Blair Hardy to you, Spencer Mills, and the other drug fed, money paid little bastards, Ray Ray, animal killers, Tyler Lake, Jason Gimpy Bunalstein, Dale Hartwick, numbing me down to dumb me down, brain injuring me, completely fucking my skull in hopes to get away with this, in hopes to fucking mentally screw me up. Nice job. Well, time has been bought, damage has been done.